Riley, with APEC coming up in Peru, some people think that China's reasoning for this incursion when they breached Japan's airspace, it's kind of to play nice ahead of this meeting with Tokyo. What do you think? Do you think this really was an accident?
Well, I think there's a few different ways to kind of understand their reasoning that it's an accident. The first, as you mentioned, with the upcoming APEC summit, it could be to play nice with the new Japanese administration. The Beijing is still very diplomatic forward, so they like to at least try and make it seem like they're on a good foot with everyone. Um, but the accident, it is hard to believe that the incursion in August was truly an accident. I think the fact is that there's just too much PLA activity going on. It doesn't really bring peace and security to the region. In fact, it does quite the opposite. And the Chinese really need to, I think, reconsider their priorities.
And how would you gauge current relations between Japan and China right now? Are there any obstacles to both sides engaging with one another?
I would say that Tokyo is getting a lot more skeptical of Beijing. Beijing itself is changing, of course. I mean, it's much more political. It's much more focused on security. It's much more, pushing away a lot of the values that the international community has. And so Tokyo sees this. Tokyo sees the military activity going on right across their borders, right? And so they're very worried. Um, the difficulty for leaders, right, is that politics usually often means you have to play nice at these international conventions. It's not always that they can have a stern talking to in front of cameras, because that'll just look bad for everyone. So it's a little bit difficult. I would say, though, just the underlying relationship between Tokyo and Beijing is growing, not more connected, but definitely more critical of the way that Beijing is acting.